Hello everyone, in this video we are going to learn how we can create our own Visualforce pages from scratch. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. I'm here in my Salesforce dev environment and there are two ways of creating Visualforce pages in Salesforce. So let's see how we can create Visualforce page using the first method, and that is by going to the setup. That's the link on your top right hand side. And if I scroll down under the develop, under the build, we have develop, and if I expand the develop and right underneath the lightning component, I can see the link called Visualforce pages. I can click on that, or the easy way is just to search for the Visualforce page, and that would take me straight to that. I just wanted to show you first where this page is under the develop. So let's click on the Visualforce pages link, and what I see here is a list that would display all the Visualforce pages that I created. Right now there is no page that is created, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the new button, and this takes me to this screen where I can provide a label for the Visualforce page and a name. Now, what is the difference between label and a name? We'll get to that in a second. What you can see here in the Visualforce markup is that the Salesforce has given me a boilerplate code that is like ready to go out of the box. This has the apex page tag, the starting and the closing, and the content inside this, and the markup inside this is the actual text or the text that will be displayed on the page, and this is how we write comments in our Visualforce page. So let me go back to the label and the name. Label is nothing but the title of your page. Let me go ahead and give it a title for this page. I'm going to say my Visualforce page, or I can say my first visual page. And the moment I click away, it just copies that text from the label and onto the name field. Now name is the internal name, is the actual name of your page. So if I click on quick save, it would give me an error because the name cannot contain spaces and it can only contain underscores and so on and so forth. And of course it must begin with a letter. So there are some policies, some constraints, some validations applied to it. So I'm going to I can either give it underscore or just remove the spaces altogether. So I'm going to do that, and I can provide a description. Of course, this is my first demo Visualforce page, and the Visualforce markup is just the boilerplate code. This is provided to us by Salesforce. This is the start tag, and this is the end tag, and this is just some simple tag, and we are quite familiar with the h1 tag, which is the header tag, and this is the comment that we have. I can even add my markup onto this if I like, but for now this page is looking good. We have removed the spaces from the name, so let me go ahead and click on quick save, and this has now saved my Visualforce page. So I can click on the preview, and voila, this is your first Visualforce page. Let's talk about the second method of creating our Visualforce page. The first thing that we have, every Salesforce page or a website has what's called a base URL. So what we do is we type in the base URL, we have the base URL, and then we do /apex and followed it by the actual Visualforce page. So let's see how we can do that in action. Alright, let's start off with the base URL. This is your base URL, and what we do is we type in the base URL /apex / the name of your Visualforce page. So I'm going to say my second Visualforce page. I mean, this can be a bit more intuitive or something a bit more meaningful, but I just wrote my second Visualforce page for the demo purposes. So I'm going to click on enter, and let's see, we're gonna get an error most probably. So this says the page my second Visualforce page does not exist. Well, but we thought this is how we create the Visualforce page, but there is one thing that you need to do before we can even attempt to create a Visualforce page, that is enable your development mode. So I'm going to click on my name, my settings, and in the left hand side expand the personal and scroll down under the advanced user settings. So click on the edit button and scroll down until you see the development mode. Select that and click on save. Alright, the development mode is all good to go. So with the development mode enabled, let's try creating the Visualforce page one more time. So we have got the base URL, which is this one. So I'm going to remove everything after it. I'm going to say apex / my second, actually, because we have created our first Visualforce page. So I'm going to say my second Visualforce. So just call it my second Visualforce, and I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard. And let's see if we get something different this time. It says yes, the Visualforce page doesn't exist, but now we get an option to create this page. So I'm going to go ahead and click on create page, and when I do that, it actually creates this page for me. And look at that, I get this nice little window at the bottom, and this lets me customize or change the text on the Visualforce page on the fly. I can say, and I can make some changes. Congratulations. I can hit exclamation mark, add a line break, and hit save. And look at that, the changes that I've made just now are reflecting on my Visualforce page. So this is how we can create our Visualforce page. So now if I go back to my setup, if I open this in a new tab, and if I go to the develop, expand the develop, and in the Visualforce pages, I should see two pages. One, the first one that was created right from this window, and the second one was created using that apex / method, of course by enabling the development board. So this is how we can create our Visualforce page. And just before you go, if this video has helped you in any way, shape or form, give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button.